Hey everybody, how are we today, this morning? And I've got a question for you this morning on our new live video. I want to know, have you ever considered how much time and how much energy you're losing to things that don't move your business forward? Have you ever sat down and actually just thought about the kind of things that you devote attention and time to, frustrations, projects that aren't having any positive impact whatsoever on moving your business forward? G'day, I'm Matt Doyle. I am the World Changers coach and the founder of Provider Academy. And I had a really interesting situation with one of my non-NDIS clients yesterday, a local charity that I helped establish and that I work with as a business advisor and business coach. And so, we established them going back mid last year and have not long finished going through the process of their Australian Charities and Not-for-Profit Commission, their charity registration. It was a very arduous process given the structure of the company. And I must have spent in excess of 100 hours going through getting this over the line for their registration. And so what's happened now is they're at the point of applying for a particular grant. And so we ran into a headache yesterday with a particular state government as they were not even applying for the grant, but just registering to be able to apply for grants with this state government. The structure of the business became an issue, the structure of the charity. And because of the way they're structured, they basically became ineligible to even register to apply for grants, let alone get them at all. And so I found myself on a phone call negotiating on their behalf with somebody from the government department. And the issue basically was because there was individuals involved in the membership as opposed to another charity owning this charity effectively, they became ineligible to register for these grants. And so as I was speaking to this person from the government, I said, well, I mean, come on, we've got this paradox. We've got the ACNC has said this is enough of a bona fide organisation that we're going to register them as a charity. But you're saying this charity has to be owned by another charity to be eligible to even apply for a grant. That is absolutely ridiculous, which it is. It's a completely stupid setup. Anyhow, the response that I got back from the bureaucrat was, well, you can write to the minister if you like, but they're the guidelines. At that point, I realized pretty quickly, well, this is not going anywhere. There's no point whinging about this situation. It's a stupid situation. It makes no sense, but it's not going anywhere because I have no power to change this or to negotiate it. She's got no power to negotiate with me. We're not going anywhere here. So I politely thanked her and handed away the phone, and we moved on with the rest of our day. After that phone call, I got together with the two leaders of this charity, and within about 5 minutes, we'd come up with both a long-term strategy and a short-term strategy to work around this situation. We had a long-term strategy to deal with our structural issue so that we could become eligible for these grants in the future, and a short-term strategy of where to find new grant funding or new grants to get some money flowing into this charity in the short term. What we didn't do was sit around and dwell on how stupid the scenario was, as ridiculous as it actually is. So what does that mean in your NDIS business as a provider? Have you wondered, ever sat down and analyzed how much time you sit thinking or stressing or whinging, complaining about things that you have no control over in your business, things that do nothing to move the needle, move your business forward? So think about things like the costs of audits, some of the ridiculous ways the system works, the price guide, some of this bureaucratic nonsense that you have to deal with. All of it frustrating. All the grievances, all the complaints are completely legitimate. It is a frustrating thing and makes it incredibly difficult to run a business, but they're things that you've got no control over. Have you ever sat down and think sort of how much time is robbed from you or your business thinking about, worrying about, stressing about these things that you can't change, thinking if it was only this way, we'd be all good. If it was only that way, we'd be all good. How much time and energy gets lost worrying about those things. But the reality is you can't change them. Just like I couldn't change the regulations to get through a stupid situation with that charity. So just like we did in the charity, we sat down and we went, okay, short-term strategy, long-term strategy, and within 5 minutes we were off to do something that's going to move that charity forward. What I see, particularly in Facebook groups and things like amongst NDIS providers, is we spend so much time and so much energy dwelling on the things that we can't change that it does nothing to move the business forward. When what we need to be focusing on is, okay, there's this rigid issue, particularly if you're starting out, this rigid issue of the audit and the costs involved. Yes, it is ridiculous that there's such a short list of people or organizations that can do the audits, and that drives the prices up. It is ridiculous that two people can be doing exactly the same service in exactly the same way, and one gets charged one fee because they're a sole provider and one gets charged 3 times as much because they're an incorporated company when they're exactly the same aside from that structure. That is nuts, but we can't change it. And so every moment we waste whinging about it or thinking about how hard it is or just getting annoyed by it is a moment lost to thinking about a strategy to deal with it. And it's that, we can all talk about how hard and how high the barriers to entry are, but we need to focus more on how we're going to deal with them. That audit cost, it's a startup cost, it's expensive. Every business has expensive startup costs. Once you get up and running for your first year, now you can plan and budget for the second year, and you'll find it's not as onerous. Yes, you have to meet it every year, but it's not as onerous. But that initial startup cost, we have to strategize it. And that's, think about other issues in the system, things about, changing plans with participants and how annoying that and frustrating that can be. Well, at the end of the day, that's the system. It's designed with participant choice in mind. Things change and you can't change that system. So as a provider, you have to invest your time and your energy in strategies to deal with it, not let your time and your energy be wasted. And then you're actually going to move the needle forward in your business, not spin your wheels worrying about things that you've got no control over. So I've got a challenge for you today at the end of this video. Where's one area in your NDIS business, because I know I've done it, I know we've all done it, every single one of us, nobody's immune to this. Where is one area in your business as an NDIS provider where you've let your focus spend too much time on things you can't control and then robbed your business away, the time and the energy away from your business where you could be moving the needle, moving the business forward? And what are you going to do in the next week to shift your focus onto things that are more proactive solutions to getting ahead and moving your business ahead? I'd love to see your responses to those in the comments. If you think if this video serves you, I'd love you to share it with other people that it would be helpful for, other providers. If you want some information on how we can help you move the needle forward ahead in your business, you can message me directly. You can send a message to the Provider Academy Facebook page, and we'll have a chat and just see where you're at, what you need, and can we possibly help? And if not, maybe point you in the right direction. Until we catch up on another video, go out and keep on changing the world. Cheers.